Hello, welcome to the MMA Draw. I am your host, Chris Rini. Today is Friday, May 3rd, 2024. We are the day before UFC 301, and this is at least the third time I am trying to shoot this video. It has been a hell of a day. Ugh, did I just break the tip of this pencil? No, it's not even that sharp. Been a hell of a day trying to get this bad boy rolling. I misplaced my microphone that I used to shoot all this, so apologies for the audio right off the bat. After spending, I don't know, too much time, as much time as I did, trying to, get off the ground, I just gave up at a certain point, and I was like, look, let me just shoot the video, use the iPhone. What happens? It immediately craps out at 2 minutes because it's full. And enough time had gone by at that point where I was like, oh my goodness, I give up. I give up. Let me just draw. Let me just draw and not record anything and just get through this these feelings. So I just drew for a bit and I calmed down, and here I am with you. We're back on schedule. What a life. Welcome, folks. Welcome. I want you to know that I'm taking my more positive view of MMA as best one can in these trying times. And I'm going to say that while this event is light on star power, this event is so light on star power, I feel like you could lose the main event and it would still be about as desirable to fans. The beleaguered flyweights and their complete lack of promotion that exists. It is what it is, right? But it's going to be a good fight. I am picking Steve Irsay. This is entirely an anti-Pantoja pick. Not that I am against the champ, Alexander Pantoja. I think he's been just an amazing fighter for the past 5 years. I think that he has, not been able to stay regular on the schedule, and that's always a massive hindrance to one's ability to resonate with fans. And being a flyweight, once again, that is just an eternal hindrance. But the fact is, the man is 34 years old, and he has been through a number of wars, and this is more of a contextual pick than anything else. If you want to see a fantastic Pantoja fight that really doesn't get talked about at all in terms of his history, he had a banger, absolute banger with Deiveson Figueiredo in 2019, which is the fight that set Figueiredo on his own title run. His multiple fights with Joseph Benavidez and what's his name, the quadrilogy with Brandon Moreno. So and Pantoja, he pushed him to the limit as best he could. So that's fascinating to see this kind of come full circle, where Pantoja kind of set the stage, set the table for Deiveson Figueiredo, and Figueiredo had his amazing run, and now here we are with Pantoja as champion. That all said, Pantoja had the way he won the title, absolutely stunning. His beautiful post-fight speech and an emotional outpouring after defeating Brandon Moreno. Truly amazing stuff. Unfortunately, it came in his 30s. What was that? Anyway, and then he, forgive me, I'm getting really into this drawing here. What did the guy do? He had a rough one, not a rough one, but a strange one with what's it called, the Mr. Brandon Royval. It's no other way to put it. You know, it was a workmanlike performance. He did what he had to do. He showed why he's the champ. He had Royval outclassed. He did his thing and kept the belt. You know, good for him. Always happy to see a long. I love to see title defenses. When a belt passes hands, too many times it kind of devalues the fighters involved, and you know, only in hindsight does it look like a kind of amazing moment. And by that I'm talking about light heavyweight, both in the post John Jones era and also the post Iceman era. All right, all of this is to say, you know, Steve Irsay, you know, too much too soon. I'm gonna give you a little bit of betting knowledge that I've heard, and it's not even betting. It's just you know, the way things go in MMA. Keep your eyes on Mr. Irsay, right? He is you know, being thrust into the spotlight just out of circumstance. You know, Kai Kara France needs some more wins. Amir Albazi is injured. That's it. That's like the you know, Brandon Royval, you know, just lost to the champ and then defeated Brandon Moreno, which, you know, I'm not happy Brandon Moreno lost, but I am happy that we are not in, you know, rematch land where they're like, that was so good, we're just gonna run it back. But really we're running back because we booked a night and we need a champ. So look, all that is to say, Pantoja's got a lot of miles on him, and he's got a lot of years on him. You know, 34. The smaller you get, the older you are when it comes to fighting. So, you know, this could be a moment for Mr. Steve Irsay to, you know, flex his boxing. He looks like a competent grappler. I did a lot of tape study on him, and while I am disappointed with how much he gets hit, I will say that he is, you know, good boxer. He's got good footwork. Maybe that's the kind of thing that could keep Pantoja, you know, from catching his back. It'll give Irsay time and space to, you know, jab him up. These are huge things when there's a 5-round fight. Good footwork, tremendous, absolutely tremendous when it comes to fighting in what's the word? A 5-round fight. So I'm going with Irsay. I'm looking forward to this being like an exciting moment, because it's gonna be like a brand new face on the scene, and that'll open up some nice opportunities. Now, one thing that I would say is that while there's not a lot of star power in this UFC event, there is one really cool thing. Future stars are on this card, and I would suggest that you pay close attention to Jonathan Martinez and Elvis Brenner. Perhaps you've been following Mr. Martinez because he has had 3 really good performances in the past 2 years. He has 2 leg kick TKOs, and they are absolutely vicious. Absolutely, completely vicious brutalizations of Cub Swanson and Adrian Yanez. Those are 2 legit guys. They know what they're doing out there, and the one where he took apart Cub Swanson was the one that made me be like, oh, okay, I'm watching this guy. I'll see what he's up to. And then the UFC booked him against Said Nurmagomedov, and that made me think, oh, okay, I guess the UFC doesn't really give a hoot about Jonathan Martinez. And anytime you see anybody get booked against a up-and-coming Dagestani, it just tells me something. Maybe not you, but it tells me something. So, you know, Mr. Nurmagomedov, you know, he's got a big kicking game. I don't know if you've watched much of him, but that's a big thing for him. And it actually neutralized maybe the threat of the takedown with the Nurmagomedov name, and the extensive kicking game of Nurmagomedov really neutralized a lot of Martinez's, classic low kicking offense. Instead, Martinez clinched, especially a ton against the fence, which is part of what I'm showing you here as we draw. That is a fascinating thing. So I like how resilient he is. When he doesn't have his primary offensive tools, he's going up against Jose Aldo. I love Jose, one of the all-time greats. He's also 37 years old and is like coming back. That's a strange one. It's smacks of contractual obligations. Like Jose can't fight in other organizations. If you've paid attention, he's been boxing, but he has not done any MMA with anyone. And I know he was, a Hall of Fame inductee and all that stuff, but let's call it like it is. These guys, we can have a whole nother discussion about MMA retirements and the tragedy that is that whole genre of humanity. At the end of the day, Jonathan Martinez looks like a future, I'm going to say top fiver. I see it. I see it because he has the specialist tool in those leg kicks, and he has a certain amount of resiliency and toughness when those leg kicks have been taken away from him. This is what I've gleaned and decided after watching his last 3 fights. 2 of them in which he had his leg kicks and completely dominated because of them. And then the one, razor close decision where he had to gut it out and not have his best tools at his disposal. And so that's where I am right now. So keep an eye on him. Let's see if he breaks people's hearts because he's going to destroy Jose's legs. Who knows? Who knows? Now, the other person I want you to keep an eye on is Elvis Brenner. Elvis had 2 fantastic performances in 2023. I believe this is his first fight of 2024. Came out looking like he is a strange looking fella. He dyed his hair like almost platinum white for this fight against Guram Kutateladze, and it was kind of hilarious watching it turn bright red. It was a bloody, vicious affair. Kutateladze appeared to have him outclassed, outskilled, and then what's his name? Kutateladze couldn't seal the deal, couldn't finish the job, and also got pretty tired. So, what's his name? Sorry, got a little something going on here. Elvis Brenner just gutted it out, and he came back and he put on a fantastic performance. It was a beautiful, beautiful, excellent fight. This is one of those things where I don't watch it live, and instead, I'll listen to the 6th round podcast afterwards and hear about an impressive performance by a relatively unknown fighter, and go check it out. And it stuck with me. It stuck with me big time. So that's where I am right now. I'm totally into this guy. And then he came back, and had a fantastic first round KO, flatline this guy. This is the kind of stuff that you really want to see. You really want to see this stuff from up and coming fighters. I think these are the kind of guys, Brenner more than Martinez, has the potential to be like these Matt Brown guys where, I'm going to tune in. Or even Charles Jourdain. I'm going to tune in to watch this guy fight. I'm not tuning in to watch him, be the greatest. I like fights. I like fights, and I like these guys who, or even a Jim Miller, Let's see what the future holds, but keep your eyes peeled. I think there's some good stuff out there. And let me know if there's anyone that you're interested in, if you've seen these fights, if you know what I'm talking about, if you think I'm totally full of it. But that's all for today. Have a great time. Enjoy the fights. I'll be back with you next week. I think I'm going to switch to a Tuesday, Thursday schedule so that I can do these smaller episodes and then something big, like a long form Bob Ross style thing where you can just be with me for an hour. We could talk about life and culture, and I can really go off on tangents. I'd love to talk a little more about, life in Denmark and New York City, where I spent, 43 years. And I like talking about, just being a human being more so than just fights all the time. Thanks for your time. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. I really appreciate your time. My name is Chris Rini, and this has been the MMA Draw.